Hey everyone, Moxie here. I'm going to take a moment and show you guys how to determine the chords of any key. And I'm going to give you a little cheat to do that. To really understand this particular lesson, you need to know at least the notes on your guitar and how that relates. And we're going to be using primarily the 6th and the 5th string. And I'm just going to walk through that really quick. What we're going to do, if you play your 6th string, your thickest string, that's your E string. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't know this, some of you might know it, the two notes that are beside each other in the scale are E and F, and B and C. So, if we have an E note, the next note up the chain is F. And if you think of a piano, and I don't have one to show you at the moment, although I have a few here, you have E, that's our open string. The next note, right on the 1st fret, 6th string, is F. If you play that over and over again, go play that at the beach. Freak everyone out. Okay, so B and C and E and F, if you look on a piano, they are right beside each other. There is no black key in between them. So you're going to learn this. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, I wish this was in 3D. That's a big finger. Okay. So, let's look at our 6th string. So, open E. Then we have F. Okay? Now, if you're confused, if you're thinking this is G, remember about those black keys on a piano. Okay? So, we're going to skip. We're going to do what they call a whole tone. So, we're going to go from E to F and another 2 frets over to G. The musical alphabet goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and repeats again at A, and so forth. There is no H or I. So if this is G, remember, 2 frets over is going to be A, because only B and C and E and F are right beside each other. So if this is A at our 5th fret, this is going to be B at our 7th fret. And if you've been paying attention, you'll know that at the 8th fret is C, because B and C are right beside each other. So if you understand that, if you're starting to get that concept, we go down to your 5th string A. Now you can't see where I'm playing, but there, okay, 5th string A. And if that's an A, that's not a B. This is a B, because you have to leave, it's open, then you've got your space, which would be a black key on the piano, which would be either A sharp or B flat. Don't let that bother you, just let it wash over you. Here's our B. And if you've been paying attention, you'll know that this is C right next door. A, B, C. This is going to be D. 2 frets over is going to be E. 1 fret over is going to be F. And we continue G, A, again at our 12th fret. Okay? Now, if you understand that concept, you can understand how to figure out the chords in any key. And for that to happen, we're going to talk about a major scale on the guitar. And generally, yeah, it'd be great if I did it in C, but I'm not going to do it in C. I'm going to do it in G. So here we are at our 3rd fret, 6th string, and that's our G note. Remember? E, F, G. So there's our G. Now just watch my fingering for a moment. Okay? You don't have to really learn this right now, but you definitely have to learn it at some point. It's going to be really helpful. So here we go. Here's a major scale, just going up 1 octave. Okay, so we had the notes G, take my word for it, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. So every major or minor scale is made up of 7 different notes. Now I played 8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 8th note that I played is the G again. It's the octave of G. Oct meaning 8. An octopus has 8 limbs. I don't know if they're arms or legs, because I should know that, but I'm not a marine biologist. So, all right. So, with that being said, we're not going to do a major scale like that. We're going to make it easier, because this fits everywhere on the guitar. And we're going to start on our G, and we're going to go through 7 notes. We're going to play that same major scale, but in an easy to remember pattern. We're going to play it this way. G, 2 frets over to A, 2 frets over to B. Then we're going to start where we were underneath our G right here, which is the C note. Okay, 3rd fret. C, D, E at our 7th fret on our 5th string, and then we're going to go 2 over. Okay, that's at our 9th. That's an F sharp. Remember, E and F are right beside each other. E, F. That's right next door is F sharp. And I want you to forget that because we're not gonna worry about that today. And here's our G right next door. Just a little half step. But you don't have to worry about that. We're only going to focus on the 6th most important chords of any key. So we had notes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all we're going to deal with. That's all you need right now. And we're going to take those notes and magically change them into chords. So this becomes a G. If you're trying to figure out the chord you're going to play in the key of G, here you go. This is going to be G. Now just pay attention for a moment. Here's G, chord of G, chord of A, chord of B, chord of C, chord of D, chord of E. Okay, so we know most of those chords, probably most people do, except maybe a B chord, right? But some of those chords are played major, some of them are played minor. Which ones? Well, the 3 most important chords of any key is the 1st chord, the 4th chord, and the 5th chord. So if you go to those notes on the guitar, they are always located in this order if you're dealing with the 6th, the 5th, the 4th, the 3rd string. So, okay. There's your 1, 4, and 5 notes, which is a G, a C, and a D. Okay? And if you've played any songs in the key of G, you've played G, C, and D. The three principal chords in the key of G are your 1, your 4, and your 5. In this case, G, C, and D. Now those are played major. Every time you're dealing with a major key, the 1st chord, the 4th chord, and the 5th chord are always played major. That leaves the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 6th played minor. Now you're asking, what about the 7th chord? Well, we're going to avoid that right now because that is played as a diminished chord, diminished or a diminished 7th chord. And you don't need to worry about that right this moment. Only going to deal with the most important 6 chords. So, if we're in the key of G, we've got G, C, and D played major. That leaves this, the A, the B, and the E played minor. And for those paying attention at home, the other most important chord generally is the 6th chord, which is the relative minor. So in this case, in the key of G, the relative minor of the key of G is E minor. Another easy way to find that is find your root note, your starting note, and you want to call it your chord, that's fine, and move it 3 frets back. Bing, bang. Now we ran out of frets, but we go to the open note, and that's an E. So G to E minor is a really nice sounding chord change. Okay, so the reason we did it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is because that works all over the guitar. So if we go down, for example, to C, we drop down, we know this is our C note, okay, we can go, oh geez, what are the chords am I going to play in the key of C? Well, just go across. Bing, bang, boom, start underneath. So we got C, we got D, we got E, okay, we got F, we got G, and we have A. So the 3 principal chords in the key of C are the 1, the 4, and the 5. So change those notes to chords. So it's a C note, a C chord, F chord, G chord. Those are played major. Now sometimes the 5th can be played as a 7th chord, but let's not get super technical, okay? We can swap out all sorts of major 7ths and minor 7ths and whatnot, but let's just deal with major minor. So that leaves in the key of C, C, F, and G major, and D, E, right here, okay? pardon me, and A are going to be played minor. Now, the sixth is the relative minor. So C to A minor is going to be a nice change, and you've probably done that a lot. And that can work for anything. You can do it in the key of F. You can do it starting here in the key of F sharp. As long as you go over those 6 and know your notes, you're going to be just fine. So let's talk about F for a minute. Even if you're not even sure of the correct terminology, whether it's a flat key, because there's flat keys and there's sharp keys, and then there's the key of C that has neither. So let's do F. Here's F. Okay? Go up the major scale of F. Going right underneath where we started. And we're not going to worry about the 7th or the 8th, okay? What we have in the key of F is F, G, A, B flat, C, and D. The 3 principal chords in the key of F are located right here like we did already. F, B flat, C. Those are played major. The ones played minor are up here, the 2, the 3, and the 6. So here we have the G, the A, and the D are played minor, with the relative minor being the D. So F to D minor is going to be a great change. So you can work that up and down the guitar at anywhere and use it as a little cheat. Just start. Look for your 6. It's always going to be in that pattern. And when you decide you want to tackle the diminished and the diminished 7th chords, you can. They're great sounding chords. They sound like, you know, when someone's tied to a railroad track, etc. Okay? So I hope this helped. If you got a lot out of this, if it changed your life, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe, and please leave any comments or questions in the comments, and I'll be sure to respond. Have a great weekend, even if it's Tuesday.